Alright, today we'll go over how to go about case selection without giving you so much headache. I've seen some tables online about how to go about certain cases, and I think it's very hard to follow through them on the chair, and I thought that would be the best way to go about it is looking at some x-rays where I think which cases could belong to which category. So, similar to kind of how people look at ski courses, I got into easy, moderate, difficult, and extreme, where difficult and extreme that I would recommend or consider referring to an endodontist for some cases. In the easy category, you can clearly see a wide canal showing towards the end of the root. I think these cases can certainly be done by yourself and it will be easy to shape and clean. Ironically, I think the filling part could be a bit challenging, but we can discuss that portion a bit later. Alright, so the next category is moderate. It's a bit hard to see the canals, or at least you can see them pretty well from the coronal third, but as you get to the bottom half, it's when you can start to see some calcifications. It's hard to really see where the root ends. While I still think these cases can be done, but you will have to be a bit careful and definitely cannot get to the working length in one file. Matter of fact, one of the cases that I got referred, in this case here, on the distal root, where the previous dentist tried to force it in one file and then ended up ledging them. So I had to bypass the ledges with hand file to finish the cases. But I still think with careful treatment planning and right sequences, I think these cases still can be done. This case, while this may look a little difficult initially, when you open it up, actually I was able to clearly see the two canals, so don't freak out always you see these x-rays. But with that being said, I would fit most premolar categories or straightforward molar cases and some anterior cases as the moderate categories. Now, when you get to this difficulty, you might want to consider sending these cases to the endodontist. In some cases, anatomy of these canals along with extra canals can make the treatment more complicated than other ones. Calcified canals can make it tricky to not only find them, but also get to the working length, which can be very time consuming. What a lot of endodontists do, which including myself, is I put EDTA in and try to get to the canal with hand file. Again, in these kind of cases, when you start to force file in, or especially rotary files in, you can make cases a lot more complicated than it needs to be. Another consideration that you should have is specifically with these cases like this with interesting curvatures, or these, you might want to start thinking about up to what apical size you want to finish the cases to, which is not something that you really have to get too caught up on in previous cases that we've seen so far. Now, in this case particularly, this case was a little challenging to get down the canal, which also I had to hand file a decent amount. With that being said, I still think these cases still can be doable, but this is case by case situation. Now, onto the extreme or double diamond cases, as they say in the ski courses. I would strongly recommend to send these cases to an endodontist, as some cases cannot be treated non-surgically. Some endodontists may have different opinions, but in my opinion, endodontic microsurgery is a great treatment option for some teeth. For example, for this teeth, where the patient previously had a trauma by falling face flat about 15 years ago with the calcified canals, where I think trying to do this non-surgically is very difficult. In this case, I treated this tooth surgically and the lesion has healed. In this case here, where I could barely see the canal and I actually couldn't find the distal canal on one visit. So I had to two-visit this and try to get down further down the canal was very difficult. Some of the things you might want to take consideration is the patient's age, and also another possibility is patients taking statins, as they can actually cause pulp calcifications. Now this case, to retreat this is very difficult, as you can see it was previously transported, so try to get down the original canal or path can be very challenging. These are the type of situations where I would recommend, if the patient is willing to go through the surgical route. This is another case where it had a very long fiber post and patient did not want to sit down for a long time. So I treated this molar surgery, which took me about an hour and a half, and the lesion has been healing really well.